Hey, what's up? It's Ashley, and today we're going to talk about the Tissot PRX, a watch that has been making waves ever since it was released. We are going to dive into its history, why and what makes it so popular, and also what's next for Tissot PRX. Now let's start with some background. The Tissot PRX is based on the 1978 Tissot C-Star. The current CEO of Tissot discovered this watch in Tissot's archives of 7,000 watches.
What do you have in the drawers? What original pieces from the past we have? And then there was this PRX, the original PRX. And
was there like an angel voice coming out of it?
It was like, immediately, you know, we're in an emotional business. It's not just a business, it's something, when you see a watch, sometimes you have an emotional thing that happen, you have little papillon, butterfly in the stomach, and you say, wow, that's the one. And I said, how fast can you go for this one? I love it. We need it in automatic also. We need it in quartz because it was a quartz watch originally.
Yes.
And then we
To remain faithful to the original design, the team used tomography to keep the proportions the same, only enlarging it to 40mm for the automatic version. And apparently it was also the fastest development ever by Tissot. The name PRX stands for precise and robust, with the X represents 10 bar water resistant. So what makes the Tissot PRX so popular? Well, first of all, if I were to guess, the design is timeless and vintage, which is a trend we're seeing a lot in the watch industry right now. I mean, any watch brand kept reintroducing their old watches and make it like a new watch. For example, the Tudor Black Bay 54 or the IWC Engineer, and I'm guessing way more. And this Tissot PRX is definitely not a tacky or overdone watches like a Hublot watch. And I think the integrated bracelet is definitely a very nice touch, and it felt like a really good quality bracelet. Plus, Tissot is a Swiss brand after all, which automatically adds to some prestige to the brand. And perhaps most importantly is, I think the Tissot PRX is very accessible in terms of pricing and availability. I mean, there's no need for any of like those waiting lists or whatever. Now moving on to the current lineup, there are three main models to choose from: the Quartz, Powermatic, and the Chronograph. The Quartz is definitely suitable for those who basically just want a watch without any fuss to it. I mean, it's a quartz watch, so you don't have to waste your time winding it and all that. And the watch is available in 35mm, making it a really perfect size for most of us. And also this watch features a really cool sunburst dial. If I have to pick one favorite, it would be this light icy blue color. I really like that one. And recently they have released a new model, which is this full dial lume, which reminds me of the Timex Indiglo. I mean, what do you think about that? Me personally, I do not really see the appeal of it. Yeah, I don't think it's my thing. The selling point of this variant are its exact copy to the original design. I mean, from its size, and it definitely fits most people's wrists. And definitely it's the most affordable option out there, pricing at $375. However, it's worth mentioning that the second hand may not hit the minute markers on the dial, which has been a complaint for some owners.
Notice that the second hand doesn't hit the minute markers. I think it does like half the time, and half the time it doesn't. Also, really inexcusable.
The first thing that I really dislike about this watch is it is not hitting on the second hand, and it's a little bit hard to tell. It's hitting some of the indices, but it's missing a lot of them. And here's the funny thing. It's looking to me a little bit better today than it did yesterday, which means it's inconsistent.
Its negatives that I had about the Quartz one is the fact that the second hand does not quite land perfectly on the markers, which is a problem because it really ought to, because there are watches that are much cheaper than this Tissot PRX, and in the end this is a Swatch Group watch, so I feel like, you know, perfectly set hands isn't really too much to ask for.
So if this is your pet peeve, this variant might not be the best fit for you. You'll just be annoyed. However, if you're into automatic watches and don't mind spending $300 extra, the PRX Powermatic may be a better option for you. Pricing at $675, making it still quite a reasonable amount to spend on a Swiss watch. It has an impressive 80-hour power reserve, meaning you won't need to wind it often. But keep in mind that most of the Powermatic models come in 40mm size, which might be too big for most people's wrist actually. In fact, I would say that it actually wears a little bit like a 42mm because of its angular case design. So yeah, it's a pretty big watch. Perhaps this is one thing that most people complain about, is that it's just way too big. But notice that I earlier said most of the Powermatic models are in 40mm. Well, because actually Tissot actually offers a 35 Powermatic version, but it's a bit more luxurious and expensive since it comes with diamonds at 18K gold. I tried it on and I do love how it looks, but like most people, we just want the basic version and without all the extra bling and extra cash that we have to fork out. Last but not least, the PRX chronograph, which is a really beautiful watch. However, keep in mind that the PRX chronograph might not be ideal for those of us with smaller wrists because it's really a bulky watch. But if you can pull it off, this watch is definitely for you. I mean, it looks so good. Personally, I love the Panda version because of its contrasting colors. I just find it to be very eye-catching. Priced at $1,800, it is the most expensive variant in the PRX lineup. And I find it to be just a bit too large and thick even for my husband. However, I must admit that I might consider adding it to my watch collection if it's smaller. But what about the future of the Tissot PRX lineup? Well, according to my investigative journalism, there's a high possibility that a 35mm Powermatic will be coming out soon. Well, I spoke to a Tissot salesperson. I watched this Teddy's video.
It's the first mechanical PRX 35mm that we will launch.
I know you can't tell me, but I'm just going to take this as there's more to come for the 35mm. I know you can't say anything, but that's just what I'm going to assume. So, you guys can decide as well. I don't know.
You will have to come back in 2023 or how?
And most, I guess, evidently, was I saw Tissot's official Instagram comments. It's looking pretty promising. Rumors are saying that the 35mm Powermatic versions will be released this coming July. So the real question is, what colors and what dials can we expect from these upcoming models? Will they come in classic colors like this white or blue or black, or will we see something more interesting? Also, will the dials be sunburst or waffle? And hey, leave a comment below on what dials or colors you wish to see in the upcoming Tissot PRX models. I personally can't wait to get my hands on one of these watches and just make a review for you guys. So stay tuned for that, okay? So that's it for this watch talk video. I hope you guys enjoy it and learn something new about the Tissot PRX and finding out the rumor. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button if you haven't. And do check out some of my other videos while you're at it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.